All right, YouTube, SU-27, little El Cheapo. We're gonna see if this thing's any good. Differential thrust, actually got some power to it. We're gonna find out in a second. Doesn't look so good yet. There's no pesky elevator on this thing. If you haven't seen the build yet, which it'll be at the end, you may want to stick around. It's a hilarious one. Okay, we're gonna try hand launching this. Differential thrust seems to be working. There is a turning knob on the left side right over the stick. Hey, look at that. That's pretty good stuff. About 50% throttle there. There's 75%. Look at that thing.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thunk it actually flies? By the way, you may want to put this on your little kitchen scale and make sure it's not over 250 grams if you're trying to be honest Abe and follow the laws of the land in the United States. If you use an alternate battery, you can actually be below 250, but if you use the provided one, you're probably gonna be 252 grams. Just saying. Okay, camera crew, you good where you are? I wanna see if I can get it lined up with the runway. Pretty much it flies in that alpha configuration, that high alpha configuration, no matter what you do. Obviously there's no real pesky elevator to, change the pitch of the vehicle. You just kind of have to like chop the throttle and see what happens. Differential thrust means when you give it yaw, it's gonna run the one side, which means you're gonna pick up a little bit of speed no matter what you do. This thing flies actually surprisingly well. The lights are the most goofy thing I've ever seen, and yet while it does make the plane look like a giant clown car, it actually does help a lot with orientation. Let's try to land it if we can. I cannot believe that got off the ground, guys. I was gonna do a touch and went, and then I figured I'd be running into the berms of snow. And yet, look at this, here we fly. That is so cool. 2 brushed motors, who would have thunk? Okay, the stabilization will correct for this yaw. And if you're on the ground, kind of like dragging a tip or something, that may not be so good. So we'll go ahead and grab this. We'll try taking off again.
I'll stay down here, I think.
Are you paused?
No.
Okay. So why don't we just try taking off again on the runway?
Okay.
That's pretty cool that you can do that, actually. Oh, that is so cool, guys. That's pretty much the takeoff you get, by the way. And this becomes a throttle management game, because all you can really do is, that looks really good, actually. What the heck? I was thinking this thing was gonna suck bad.
I totally thought it was.
And yet it's actually pretty awesome. Oh man, it's so funny. Some of these little Chinese planes they'll boggle your mind with how horrible they look, and yet they actually fly pretty good. And this thing is heavy too.
It is.
It's kind of big, like it's bigger than you might think. I mean, granted, you guys are looking at it on camera, but when you get it in your hands, you're like, wow, that thing is like twice as big as the J20. And it's like low consequence flying, because the nose cone is basically about 3 inches deep of hollow nothingness.
Yep. And
yet it still looks nice. If you needed to get a little bit more weight in there, you could pull the cap off, and you could put like a bolt or screw or something like that in there. Landings are a little bit scary. And yet, look at that, that's not even that bad. No. That was pretty good. Guys, I could fly this forever, but you've already seen everything you need to see. This plane is really cool, actually. If it weren't like 9 degrees out here right now, I'd want to fly it for like 3 battery packs. But guys, it's actually good. I can't believe it. Definitely go buy it. check the link in the description below. Stick around for the build. There's lots of snooty remarks and fun making. But you know what? Who cares? The thing is actually pretty sweet, so I'll take it. Victory. YouTube, it's Brian Phillips. We have to open this garbage bag. Wait, there's no garbage bag. They just taped all over it again. I don't even know what this is. This could be really good. This could be really not good. We're gonna find out right now. There's a bunch of Chinese print on it, big surprise.
It is kind of like a garbage bag.
Yeah, it's abnormally huge.
They tape over the garbage bag?
You know what? I think maybe that's what they did. That's okay with me. Okay, they used a bunch of cardboard to protect this, so that's very weird. What's going on? Hopefully it's not an IED. Okay, so this is very strange. It's a very strange.
It's, we don't know yet.
Looks like some sort of a jet. Oh, cool. I think I know what it is now. This is a something or another. It's an airplane. It's an airplane. Oh, cool, look at that. It's radio controlled. It's like an SU-30, but oh, SU-27. Ooh. Ah. What is going on with the packaging choices here, guys?
Flying aircraft.
So when you order something from Banggood, it's always a surprise when it shows up, how they decided to wrap another box around it.
Why did they do
I
that?
do not understand. What the heck is this?
Did they build it like inside out?
Listen, they are creative and they will figure out a way to get it to you somehow.
That's true.
I really don't understand the concept of having a box wrapped around a box, but I guess we'll find out now. They had a box wrapped around my box and then a garbage bag with that, and then the ends of the box taped onto the box.
They forgot to put the ends on, so they're like, we'll just tape them on.
We'll tape them on. I mean, whatever it takes to get it halfway across the planet in one piece, I guess, is really what I'm after.
The box is only sort of damaged.
I'm just trying. This is unboxing, but we have to unbox the box before we can get to the box. So you can see what the box looks like in case that's going to turn you off from buying the product.
If the box is your concern,
then you probably
you
don't want to buy this.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have the SU-27 here. This is a stunt flying aircraft. Please keep your parts of body away from propeller when the propeller is rotating. That's always good advice. That's what my parents taught me when I was a kid. Whippersnapper, don't forget to keep the parts of your body out of the propeller when the propeller is turning. It's the first thing they taught me. Okay, so we're gonna open the Fury. Read that word.
Your hands in like
I thought maybe I just didn't know how to read, but you know, I think I know how to read generally.
Well,
but sometimes when the letters don't go together into a word.
Consonants.
True. Oh crap, upside down. Hey, whoa, 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 parts going everywhere. Jeez, that's way bigger than I thought it was gonna be. Now I'm kind of excited. Whoa.
Ooh, that's...
This is like at least 10 times bigger than I thought it was gonna be. What
Really?
the heck? Yeah.
10?
Whoa, it's got a 2S. It's got a 2S pack. Let's go with these stupid connectors for the balance charge. Ugh. Why do you have to do that, guys? Come on now. Just put a JST on there like everybody else. And then a Hextronics 2S balance charge. And it's an ambiguously unmarked pack. Those are my favorite.
Yes, those are always good.
That way you get to depend on the instructions in Chinese. We'll see. What the heck? This doesn't even look like the one on the box. It's got the extra. It's got the extra. What the heck? Did they tape this? What
Wait,
are they?
Is that the Air Force decal? Hold on.
There is tape going all the way around this.
That is the worst.
What
Decal
is
I've
going
ever
on
seen.
with this project here? Well, so far, you can definitely tell that the quality was put into the assembly. What is going on with that? That is the weirdest install I've ever seen. What the heck are their lights doing in the inlets? I don't understand what happened here. It's like somebody sent this to a kid and then the kid returned it to the factory. Look, there's lights here. What is going on with this plane? It does look like it's gonna fly good. Of course, obviously there's certain problems still. Ooh, it does come with an AC plug. That I like.
Right,
that's super nice. Let's plug it in and see if it catches on fire.
Great.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it won't catch on fire the first time.
You're pretty sure?
Pretty sure. That's why we have fire extinguishers. Okay?
Do you know
Seriously.
where
Yeah.
they are? Okay.
There's one downstairs.
That's convenient to my kitchen.
Isn't there one in the kitchen under the sink
I think
too?
so. There might be one on the garage.
Look at those nice flowers.
I know.
Ooh, green light comes on.
That's good.
Wow, that's weird. Flowers? Wonder who did that. Not me.
I was going to say, not you.
Red. Red. Red means still charging. Green means go, I guess. I don't know. I've been told. That thing's like my pet. Like, get off of me, pet. No, not now, pet. What the heck? Get the stupid foam off of me. Okay, so we've unpackaged this whole thing. Those props are humongous. These are two brushed, big, huge motors. Look at that. Look how big the motors are.
Should have been
Look,
6.
come here, look. Look how huge they are. What the heck is going on with this plane? It does feel strong, but it's also wiggly. What are these lights doing on here? I'm still confused. Do I have to glue this stuff together or does it just stick together?
Just stick it in there.
Okay. Okie dokie. Actually, I'm not sure. I'm not sure which one's which. See, there's this like relief here. Let's just go with this. Yeah, okay, so it goes in there. Yeah, it goes in there. You'll notice I'm not reading the manual. That's because I have enough experience to understand that it's not gonna matter on this one. These, oh, look, on off. Fancy. There's an off and an on. And they've got these little guards to prevent it from getting hit, I guess, when you like land.
And when you crash.
And there's the plug. By the way, these plugs, I was beating them up about JST, but come on over here, camera crew. I want to show you something interesting. So let's suppose you have another battery that's got a JST plug on it. Watch this, little trick. Trick of the day, guys. Watch this. You're gonna be amazed. Be careful about your polarity. This is not the right cell count, but watch this. It still works. So, in case you have another battery that's got a JST end on it, that's a 2S, like say this one from the E130, for instance, and you wanted to use it, look at this, watch this. Watch this rocket science here. Watch this, boom! What the heck is going on with these lights?
Gracious. Look, a red and a green. And
they got them in the poop chutes. This is so weird. I feel like it's National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation here. What the heck is going on with this plane? They definitely were not going for a scale look. Oh, look. That's supposed to be a power switch. Oh, it goes on this.
Oh my gosh.
That's the mark of quality. You know, I'm beginning to understand why they wrapped a box around this. Look at this arrow. On, off.
There's no control.
No, now, don't jump to conclusions yet. They're probably in, use a screw. There's a screw on here.
You have?
At this point, they're worried about the regulations, okay? Whoa, there's like half the airplane is in here.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just gonna just wash this off. Make sure nothing weird happened in there. We'll just get that cleaned off and make sure it's good and squeaky clean. Hey, look at this, watch this. That goes on there. Hey, that looks pretty sweet actually. Now watch this. Wow. If I break it, we don't have to fly it. Just kidding.
Please.
It came with extra props, actually. These are both pusher props, left and right. Well, that's pretty fancy. So they got that detail right. That's good. The last plane we did today did not go well. Ooh, these are robust landing gear. And they actually kind of look nice. Ooh. I mean, compared to the flashing lights in the poop chute, you know?
I was gonna say, I don't
Gooniac,
know.
eat your heart out. Get in there. Geez, you gotta push hard to put those things in. Obviously the nose gear is a little bit longer here. You know, so far I'm thinking, you know, if we flip that box over, you see how it says SU-27 here? I bet it's the other one. Nope, it's also.
The same.
Okay, normally there's two different styles. This is just so weird.
Of what?
I'm trying to figure this thing out.
Why are you
Good
still trying?
Lord. Well, that's true. Get in there. I like the landing gear. They're sturdy. They're galvanized steel, you know, because they want to stand up to the weather. Because I'm going to leave mine outside all year long.
What?
I'm pretty sure those are supposed to go the other way now that I've rammed them in all the way. Serious.
Then put them in the other hole.
Well, I'm not sure it's going to get out of there without breaking, so I'm just going to put them both in wrong.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to really make an appreciable difference, to be honest. Yeah, those things are tracking really straight. Okay. Sturdy landing gear. I do not understand the lights all over this thing.
Or the tape.
The tape is also a little weird. Okay, so this is not the provided battery. The provided battery is sitting over there getting charged. Here in a few minutes, we will go ahead and test the charge. Okay, so they provided a Phillips screwdriver, which is kind of handy. Oh, yep, I know. I hear you in there. Just calm down. I'm getting you.
Why could they not? They couldn't even put the
sticks.
things
They
on
don't
the
fit in the
things?
packaging. I don't think. They were too long.
Really?
For the, well, it's a pretty flat package.
Really?
Listen, they had to open another airplane to take the box apart so they could tape it around the outside of the box.
So now some poor schlub got his airplane with only half of a box.
That's true. That's true.
We're sorry if you're that.
We're probably that schlub. We're probably that
Probably true.
schlub. If you guys are seriously considering this model, just know that this is a very expensive machine screw. Don't lose it. That's weird that they would use a machine screw. Okay, so you're supposed to push up like that.
Up, like into the.
Like,
They
yeah.
don't even have the label right on the battery. Does this need 6 AA's again?
No, look, it's the sticks. I told you. Have a little faith. When have the Chinese let
In
you down
China?
lately?
Like 10 minutes ago.
Oh, well, there's that. They do look like they're probably broken, though.
Is this the right mode?
That's the next question. Okay, so there's just a pressure fit. Okay, really. You know what? Hey, listen.
What?
They actually do go in there nicely. This is high quality stuff, you know. That's okay, left, right, sort of up, sort of down. I don't really know if that stick does anything. Feel that.
It doesn't.
Feel how
it
smooth
doesn't.
it is. It's pretty smooth. Don't you think? They must have used some really high quality gimbals. And then there's a twisty knob. Oh, A, B, and C. What does that mean? I don't think it does anything. I think it's
Probably
glued
not.
in. It's glued in the C position. Oh, there's a button though. What's that button do?
Nothing.
No, there's a display here. Just read the display. Is there really 6 AA's? Oh,
Is it seriously?
it is seriously.
I know where we can find the 6 AA's.
Well, I think what we're gonna do is we are gonna pause. We'll get the 6 AA's and come right back.
Okay.
Okay, so obviously this has been probably one of the best videos you've seen on Brian Phillips RC to date. But if you need to glue, I got one recommendation. This is buried in the instruction manual. It's mostly Chinese. If the fuselage is damaged, comma, no space, please use a special dash purpose glue or transparent tape to repair it. So if you need to get your special purpose glue out, I have some Chinese special purpose glue here. Yes.
Sure you do.
I do, from previous model builds. So anyway, my wife also has some stunning reminders to read you on the box while I go ahead and glue these.
Okay, this is the stunt flying aircraft. The powerful engines make the model could take off from the ground easily. And the fuselage is made from durable EPP foam. This special material is very resiliently.
It is very resilient.
And there are no extra moving parts, like pesky elevators.
Like pesky elevators. Who wants a pesky elevator on their airplane? Oh man, we were just high maintenance, okay?
Apparently.
So I'm gonna use the special glue. You remember how they said it, like if you break it, you know, like the way it comes with the wings not mounted? These would be vertical stabilizers. You see how special dash purposey that is? We're just gonna ram those right into the hole. Oh yeah. Oh no, oh geez, I got my special purpose all over it. Look at this. Jeez, oh nah. Okay, so we got the special purpose spread all over there. And we'll just slide it down in there. Okay, I'm just gonna slide this in here. Okay, special purpose applied. Now, when this crashes and that breaks off immediately, you'll know that you use special purpose glue. Also that's woo, there's a lot of resiliency there. That's like, I mean, you can crash at like full speed into your head and probably be okay unless you have pre-existing conditions.
But don't try that at home.
Don't try that at home, do it outside. I mean, not there either. Whoa. Seriously. All right, here we go. See, I'm spreading this contact cement. That's usually what people call it, but you know, special purpose is also good. Like what purpose? You know, I mean, some people do different things and they have different purposes for different things. All right, cool. So we've got that glued on there. You don't have to glue it. It's just better if you glue it. However, if you need to screw the battery cover on while flying, there's a screw for that too, because they did think of everything on this model.
Obviously.
No, obviously. That's right. So, you know what? We have a battery charging. We should probably talk about that for a minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this battery tester doohickey. Why don't we're going to get the Premiero one here. Ooh. This is the Spectrum one that costs more than the plane probably. We're just going to pull out early. Okay, so this is a Hextronics 2S balance charge lead. That means there's one cell is here, and then one cell is here. And they're in series, and this is where it comes out for the series output, okay? So you're gonna be, ooh, look at that fancy dance. We're at 76%. Look at that, well balanced. It's actually not too bad for balance. Okay, so we'll unplug that, and we'll just stick it back in there, and then watch that light go from green to red, okay? Now, just for grins and giggles, so that you guys can see that we're up to snuff, this should be close to 4.2. Yeah, 4.15, that's good enough to test. Now that cell, we don't know how big it is, but we could make a reasonable assumption that it's similarly sized to this thing, just because the cells are similar sizes. It'd be even better if they would have told us, but since they didn't tell us, we get to guess. Now, this is a 700 milliamp hour, so I would say that's somewhere between 600 and 1,000 milliamp hours. Okay, so it doesn't talk about the size, does it?
Probably not.
There is something in here. It talks about the nickel metal hydrate batteries. Okay, so we're not using those because we haven't used those in years on these airplanes. So the next step is, man, that feels so crappy. That is like ridiculously junky feeling.
Hey, it's mode 2.
It is mode, well, it is mode 2. That's true. Okay, so the flat side of the battery, these are just run-of-the-mill batteries that do not come with your plane. If you get them, that means you're ordering from Asia somewhere and not from North America. So I'm pretty sure that anything that comes to North America is gonna be discluding the AA's. I think it's got something to do with trade embargoes or whatever. The reason the LiPos get shipped is because they're integral, meaning they stick it in that hole and close it. Okay, just in case you're wondering. Okay, so there's that. And if you order this with more than one battery, I'm not putting that screw in there. Whoa. Actually, I guess I am putting the screw in there.
It's an integral screw.
It's an integral screw. It's a high-tech screw, guys. Special purpose screw.
Well, I mean.
Okay, so we're just gonna ram that in here right now. See this, guys? Look at this. Watch this. Whoa. That's a perfect fit.
Some of those flashing lights in the antenna thing too.
Yeah, I see those LEDs flashing. I don't know what they mean, but they probably mean something.
Probably.
So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna move around the sticks and see, oh wow, that's fancy. Okay, so it's already an on condition, then there's an off condition. I wonder if this is supposed to be the other way, maybe, possibly. That would make slightly better sense. Oh, look at that, we had that upside down. Probably because we had to install it. See how it goes from here to there? Looks like Knight Rider. All right, so we're gonna use this not provided LiPo just because it's charged. Because it has a GST, I have to be careful about polarity, because normally the polarity would be protected because that one has the correct connector on it, okay? So just full disclosure there. Uh-oh, don't you be getting excited now. I wanna put this on flat and level ground, also known as the counter right in front of me. Okay, so this is gonna go down here. It's gonna click in, and then I'm gonna turn this on. Normally you don't want the plane on first, but the Chinese do it different. You can see a reflection there. Now I'm gonna turn this on, and hopefully it's not gonna take off into my hand. Full stick up for throttle, full stick down for throttle, and it's probably armed. Whoa.
Is it gonna flash like that all the time?
What?
Is it gonna flash like that all the time?
Yeah. I mean, isn't that the way all engines look? I thought that's the way it was. So it has stabilization. You can tell because it's changing the state of the motors. That's called differential thrust. So one's gonna push harder and one's gonna let off and vice versa. That's how you make your turns. Woo! Whoa, whoa, buddy. That's full right, full left. So this motor's gonna run more. Push it that way. That motor's gonna make it roll more that way. Forward. See how it slows this one down, speeds that one up. Speeds this one up, slows that one down, should yaw the plane. Also, along the lines of yawing the plane, because this plane has dihedral, which means the wings go up at an angle, it's gonna want to roll the plane also. But no pesky elevator, you don't have to worry about that stuff. Also, you'll see that when you go to take off with this plane, the nose of the plane points up a little bit. That's gonna help to get it off the ground because there's no pesky elevator. So that being said, these lights are totally obnoxious.
And there's only one red, and it's on the wrong side.
Red is right returning, okay? So if this was flying at you at night, then that would be returning,
yes.
Okay? So in case you're wondering. And then this one's blue. By the way, in case you guys didn't know this about flying, blue is really hard to see when you're out in the air, okay? Don't use blue, use green and red and white. In case you're wondering, because green you can see. Blue disappears, it's like, your brain doesn't get good depth perception on it for some reason. I don't know why that is, but it's true. Got a pretty good amount of power. Let's see if it'll stick to my hand. Trim, trim, trim. It's not quite a 1-to-1 power to weight ratio, but that's surprisingly good. I have really high hopes for this. I know we're kind of making fun of it a lot, mostly because it's really, really, really got some ugly details about it. And yet it's so like beautiful. Like if you cut off, I mean, I actually don't mind canards. I think canards are cool, but canards are typically a control surface, you know, like pesky elevator. And you could actually add canards, and these lights are really nice. I just don't like that they flash like that, because when I'm flying, I need something solid. Flashing lights are really hard to see. The forward facing, you don't fly towards yourself that often. Usually you kind of want to see where it is spatially. So I like the color. It's actually kind of cool. I like the shape. I feel like they hit the scale lines fairly close, given that they absolutely didn't pay royalties to the Russian military. Or whatever military they would have copied this, Sikorsky, I suppose. And that's the way China usually does it. Like for instance, this model over here. This one here, you can buy this from Banggood too. This is a J20, okay? So the J20, this is one of the best flying little 2-channel planes. It's got stabilization, differential thrust, similar to what you have on this. And no pesky elevator, who needs an elevator? But you'll notice that when you go to buy this thing, it's kind of expensive. And you're like, what? Pump the brakes. This is the Rare Bear, you know, whatever, 350, 400 millimeter series. just opposite the F-18, which they stole from Boeing, and then opposite the F-16, which they stole also from F-16. Who makes it? Lockheed? I don't know. Either way, it doesn't matter. They stole them. This one's expensive, so I'm guessing they paid royalties to the Chinese government. So they get their cut when they need it. But then over here, you've got basically a non-Chinese model, even though the Chinese use this model of airplane, I believe. They're not going to be paying royalties. That's why you can get it cheap. And it's a likeness. It's not the exact model. Kind of like Boeing, B-O-Y-I-N-G, Boeing. Okay, cool. So this one's going to fly. You've already probably seen it. Honestly, I have low hopes that it's going to fly awesome, but who knows? Oh, they even have Chinese print in it. This probably means something horrible to America. I don't know. I have no idea. What do you think it says?
It means do not disassemble.
Do not disassemble. Forbidden assembly. Well, anyway, I'm actually kind of happy with the amount of power, though. That's pretty cool, actually. I'm really surprised how powerful that is. Typically, a brushed motor is not going to last all that terribly long, though, so that does make me a little bit nervous. These are definitely brushed motors. I don't want to poo-poo brushed motors because brushed motors are cheaper, and therefore they get these planes down to an economical state where people can afford to buy them. The other thing is, I like that the props disappear into the plane. You're not going to notice them. That's really cool. Much like that J20 over there, they made those things disappear better than they did on pretty much any of that lineup. This thing, I think, is going to be easier to see from a distance. Obviously, this like ugly nacelle on the bottom, that's not so good from a scale line standpoint. Secondarily, these landing gear will probably come out pretty easy. They actually don't look horribly unscale, in my opinion. These would be up quite a bit further, which would look a lot better. But the thing is, you can pull those out and you can belly land this thing no problem. And you're like, but Brian, the prop's going to get on the ground and break. Well, if you really look at it, it's not that far down, first of all. And then second of all, I just honestly don't think you're going to have a problem. They're going to tractor, so when you fly with the throttle stick off, they're going to spin under their own power because they're going to move through the air and get cut just like a wind turbine. Okay? You have to actually brake a prop, meaning you have to actively stop it with magnetic force to prevent it from driving and tractoring. Okay? So tractoring is going to create drag, and then it'll help you land too, because you don't have a pesky elevator on this thing. So how are you going to flare, right? That all being said, this stuff is easy to bend, and it will keep its shape to a certain extent. So what you're going to do is basically, if you want to trim this plane, you can kind of bend these a little bit, and that's going to help fix your roll and or yaw in disparity. Not so much on the yaw. You can actually trim that here on this knob, okay? So as I was trying to float the plane, I was just using this to adjust which side was going to get the differential thrust preference. So I actually kind of like the plane. I think it's cool. They've definitely made a lot of weird choices design-wise, but I'm excited to see it fly. And it's a little bit bigger. Like, this is quite a bit bigger than any of the other toys in this range. Now, this is definitely not a hobby-grade plane, but you know, you might not be looking for a hobby-grade plane. This is 500 millimeters. So that one there. And then let's just compare to the J20 side by side. They look a lot the same, right? Mm-hmm. But that's a lot smaller, guys.
Right.
Okay, so let's compare it to, of course, the JJRC MO2. This is an awesome product, okay? Manual is just equally as hilarious. But you know what? This thing is sweet. You can take off. You can fly it, flip it in-house. It's just super cool. It's about the same size, but quite a bit shorter. This thing does fly like a regular airplane too. There's 3 flight modes, just a regular VTOL, take off, and then you can flip it. And then you can also transition to forward flight where you'll fly forward and it goes quite quick. So you got to have a big space for that. Flight controls work really good. Brushless motors, 3 of them. Comes with spare props. I think this thing, if you can get it on the cheap, it's a pretty good value. But the thing is, it is what it is. It's not going to be a JJRC MO2. By the way, this has LEDs on top and bottom, which is why I stopped promoting the XK450 over the MO2, because the MO2 is a lot better value, being that it's got lights on top and bottom. The XK450 is equally as good flying. Equally as good airframe. It's actually about the same good looks. This one has a better looking canopy though. So anyway, just to close things up, there's a million of these little airplanes out there on the market. And you know, the more Chinese the instructions, sometimes the better the plane is. It just depends. Sometimes you'll get an XK product line where they're gonna take this and they're just gonna kind of smooth the rough edges and make a more refined product. You're gonna get a little bit nicer transmitter. You're gonna get a little bit nicer finish on the plane, but you're getting the same plane. So you just kind of weigh that out. You know, if you're gonna save 20 bucks on it, it might be worth it. But either way, I think this thing's probably gonna fly good. And of course, you guys have already seen it fly, I haven't. I'm thinking it's gonna fly good or it's gonna be a complete flop, and you can already make up your own mind because you've seen it. Without further ado, definitely come back for more, ready to fly. You know, you can't beat it when you're trying to learn to fly. But here's the thing, guys. Don't think that you're gonna learn to fly flying a plane like this, because you won't. You'll learn to have a really good time, and you'll probably enjoy the Chinese instructions just as much as we did. But here's the thing, when you're ready to really start flying, we have all sorts of planes for that too. This is just good to get you in the air, get you comfortable with the environment, help you deal with some of the nerves of getting in the air and like worrying about, oh man, that's gonna be 300 bucks when I crash, or that's gonna be 500 bucks, or that's gonna be 2,000 bucks when I crash. These things are great for that. They'll help get you from here to there. Thanks for watching, guys. Come back for more.